get some chips or something, I will go get in the car and go down the street and get the chips. But that's what every man should do because we're meant to do that. We're meant to do more.
But I'm talking as far as like you said, a provider doesn't have to get gifts. I'm not saying that they don't.
I don't mean that at all. I'm saying at first, like a simp will do that first. Like a simp will say at the very beginning, he buys a gift. He's already buying her flowers. He's already buying her a gift.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
That my dad. I can't speak for anybody else's dad. My dad told me out of his own mouth, and I could call that man right now, and he will tell you the same thing. If a man wants to talk to you, he should be courting you. He should be buying you gifts. He should be getting you flowers before anything else because that's how you know he's gonna provide for you. Why would I go out and be with a dude and I don't even know if something goes down? Like say we outside, this our first date. You've not bought me. I've not seen any proof that you are a provider. You're gonna protect me. None of that shit. Something go down at the club or wherever they be at, they get to shoot it, and you use me as a shield instead of shooting me. Like that's what I'm saying.
So are you saying that a provider is somebody that's going to protect you or somebody that's going to continue to buy you gifts?
No, I'm just saying like in general, it's the simple things. I'm not saying it got to be a huge gift, but like just flowers in general.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't think that you can be a provider until you've provided the foundation first, and then the material. You know, you can buy me the. So I agree. It's like. You're not a provider until those foundational needs are met, and then.
Let me give a perfect example. Hold on, I'm gonna give a perfect example. Okay, I took my girl out on a date for our first date. Okay, everything was perfect. It was fine. She slept with me. I liked her a lot. She started coming back around my house. She started showing ways to be complimentary in my life, helping me with my laundry, cooking, doing things that I'm bad at, but I'm really good at making money and taking care of her. So she started getting good at those things, being complimentary to me. And then once she does those things, then I will give her whatever she wants. But all I'm saying is that it's not good for the man to do it first. Now, back in the day, you were right. I think your stepdad did a great thing, but chivalry is dead now. Like chivalry. Sorry. But it is dead now. So because it's dead, we're not going to sit there and keep doing the same stuff. Like women aren't virgins, but women aren't virgins anymore. What do you mean? Like it's not the same as it used to be at all.
Chivalry is based on whether I had sex or not.
No, that's just one of the many aspects of it. That's one of the many things that makes you more valuable.
The virginity. What else?
Let's not do.
Can we go with this?
Yeah. Okay. So explain to me what you think courting is. Like, what are you? What is dating?
Once again, since pussy has been devalued because of other women, not even saying it's y'all. It's been so devalued that y'all can't. Y'all are the ones competing for the good guys now. Like y'all need to get out of your head that you have the leverage. You don't have the leverage at all today. At all. Men have the leverage because the guys that you want are the ones being chased by all the women now. And that's fine. You don't want a relationship, but that's fine. You're an exception to the rule.
I got something I want to add real quick. Roundtable question for you all. Have you ever went out on a date with a man you had no intention on sleeping with?
No.
Yes.
Possibly. No.
Yeah. So I heard a couple yeses there.
Yeah.
So the problem is with that is you're basically telling a man, oh, if I go out on a date with you, you should cater to me with flowers, open my door, all this other shit, even though I have no intention on fucking you. Why the fuck would a man do that?
That's what niggas used to do.
That's simp
and
behavior. That is simp behavior.
No, yeah.
You want lasting relationships like your grandparents. That's what your grandparents did. Before they even got the coochie, they grabbing flowers, coming up to you.
And your grandmother was probably way better value, way more traditional. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, why is it
a my granny?
Don't talk about her granny. No, but I do want to say, why is it a requirement that just because a guy took you out, showed you a nice time, why is it a requirement that he expects me to sleep?
And Coogie's supposed to be so high value. Why are you expecting coochie on the first date?
Well, same reason why you expecting flowers on the first date and a man to pay a $300 bill. Shit.
Fuck my pussy to no more than the flowers now.
Y'all might think that
flowers out the fucking garden.
Y'all gotta realize though, sex has been devalued.
You're comparing apples and oranges.
Sex is devalued now. Y'all aren't gonna be able to ever win those arguments because sex is so devalued that y'all have to compete with the other girls. Y'all can sit here and try all day long and be like, hey, but you're gonna be mad whenever you a cat lady at 40. I'm telling you.
I don't want to be married and I don't want to have kids. So the cat lady shit is not.
How old are you right now?
I'm 28.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, I'll see you at 40 or 50.
I
and
will be the
guarantee
rich
you're gonna have a
auntie
different.
flexing, baby.
Rich auntie come with
That's
the baby
what-
Come on
shower
now.
gifts.
Hey, I'm just saying
Rich
another.
auntie
It's a
flex.
statistically shows that women are on antidepressants more now than ever, especially in those age
And
brackets.
so
this-
is niggas. Y'all.
no, guys
No.
aren't really taking
So-
taking
No.
the
They
If
antidepressants.
should.
it's statistically, men are killing themselves more than women.
Yeah, because
So
yeah,
the
you're completely
y'all
right.
maybe
So
y'all
need
should
some.
try the antidepressants.
Try the medicine.
well,
Maybe it'll help. Go to
Uh,
therapy.
I've-
Seek help.
Value pussy.
I promise you that like those guys seeking help, if they're already emotional, them seeking help is just gonna make them more emotional, and that's the sad thing
Yeah,
about
it's gonna
reality.
open them up
I
even more.
know, but that's the problem. Y'all are not dealing with y'all emotions. If y'all learned how to manage your emotions rather than just letting it come up and then suppressing it, maybe y'all wouldn't have to go to the killing themselves.
Because
Learn to deal with your emotions.
You
when
gotta
they start
realize a lot of-
suppressing, when they start suppressing their anger and all that stuff, that's where them abusive
Psychos,
relationships come
the
from.
psychos, the
That's
ones, the serial
psychos.
killers, the ones that want to
Exactly.
kill people and shoot up schools.
They
It's
be
because
on
they're not
Snap.
learning to manage their anger when people piss them the fuck off.
That's them
That-
boys you
but
see
that's
on
why
Snap.
they're not supposed to be emotional at all. We have to
no.
teach men to be stoic. This is why there's
No.
books.
No,
This is
men
why
should not
there's.
be
You
stoic.
should teach.
No.
Oh my
boys
God,
to
guys!
manage
That's
their
why there's
emotions.
literally some of the
Absolutely
top-selling
not.
books of all time are books about stoicism for men, because that's what men do. We are not supposed to sit there and dwell in these emotions,
No
guys.
one
Y'all
says-
need to
no one
fucking
says
realize.
dwell.
Who
No one
told
says
you
dwell,
that?
but at
That's
least
what
address-
happens
at
whenever
least
you do
address
that.
their
Who told you
emotions
that?
when they come up.
Who
We
told
can't
me
both-
what?
Who
we
told
can't-
you that?
Who
we
told me
can't
what?
Because
both-
you have to be getting that from Google or something.
What?
Some quote.
The
or something.
stoicism and bullshit.
But
You
we
got to be
can't-
getting that from
That's
somewhere.
from Marcus Aurelius, a guy that was a
That's
Roman
not from
emperor.
real
You
life,
just listen
he
to what
he
the
literally
fuck
was
he
here
said.
2,000 years ago and a very smart man.
He's right though. It has to be a balance. Like we can't both be hella emotional.
I
It doesn't
agree.
work.
I don't want an
100%
emotional
agree.
man, but at
I
least
think-
address the
No,
emotions.
yeah,
manage your
communicative-
emotions.
Yeah,
I
address
didn't say
them.
communicative
I feel like
man.
I feel like I
Because if
don't
you-
know.
if you're
I don't think
upset
y'all.
with me
I don't
and
think
not
y'all
telling
really
me-
understood what I said earlier,
You can
because
talk
I feel
to
like y'all really are setting men back with that emotional shit. Men are not emotional beings. Y'all coming
Yeah,
from a
they're
place
not.
of a woman's perspective.
That's
We are
fine,
emotional beings
but
because we're
adjust
equipped to
it.
be able to deal with those emotions. Men are not like that. If you force them into that, then you set them back 50 years, because now we got to give 50 years of figuring out how the fuck they how to channel it and
Yeah.
how they
Their
now you're
brains are
telling them
different.
be emotional, and
Start
now that
with-
you're
I never
emotional, you
said
gotta learn how to
emotional.
deal with your emotions. You're
It's
like
not about being
reprogramming a whole
emotional.
man.
Yeah,
just-
and that's the
no.
problem today. That's
I
why
said
the world is
address
fucked
the
up.
emotion.
Is because
At least address why you feel upset. Why do you feel upset? Say
Right.
that. Okay, then move on. I didn't
That's
say
the-
dwell.
Here,
on
let
it,
let me
but-
explain something about
That
trauma
has
with
nothing
men.
to
Let me
do
just
with-
let me just explain something about trauma with men, or like whenever we're emotional and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, whatever is making us emotional is something that we can easily fix. That is the
Within
problem.
themselves.
Yes, and that's why you don't need to go talk about it, because it's usually what I would say is a scraped knee. It's not that big of a deal. It's something that you should easily be able to solve. Men are problem solvers. That's what we're supposed to do. So that's why it looks unattractive if a guy can't, if he's crying over a scraped knee, or if not even crying, if he's just being emotional or something that's not that big of a deal to you. At first, it looks extremely unattractive to the woman, and then on top of that, it's showing very negative signs that like he's gonna get even more emotional over something that's actually a big deal, something that's actually bad. So like that's why it's such a big deal for them not to be emotional at all. And you need to always try to just solve the issue. If you're a man and it's like, oh, I'm sad because of this, it's like, how do we solve this? How do we stop, feeling like that?
That's
Fair.
what
That's
I
the-
want
and that's
from my
the issue.
man, though. I want him to be the
So-
problem solver. I don't want to be like, oh, we're both emotional now.
But what
Or
I'm
both
saying is,
crying.
why can't my man go to therapy, doctor patient confidentiality?
That-
Y'all
you
get
know,
that
that's
together.
what
And
I'm
I'll
saying,
tell
but
you
then
why. I'll
come
tell you why.
home-
Because most therapists don't give a fuck about people. They're there to make a check. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to tell y'all this as a guy that went to therapy for a year, okay? And I actually had to go and do a lot of stuff. And I got very lucky and had a good therapist. But most guys do not get a good therapist. Most guys end up with a really shitty one that gives them really shitty advice
Can I
or puts them in
interject
an
too?
even worse
Can I say
position.
something?
Yeah.
I agree with you. Most therapists don't give a fuck, but that's also, why it's important to find a therapist who looks like you. There are only 6% Black therapists, just FYI, random fact.
Mhm.
I got my degree in psychology so that I could become a licensed therapist
Mhm.
because there are not many Black women who look like us who are therapists.
Mhm.
So representation matters.
So like, and this is something. So there's a guy that I like to watch on YouTube sometimes. And he's a therapist, and he talks mostly with kids. Like he's always trying to help kids. And one of the kids made a really good post on his subreddit the other day, and he was talking about, we're all telling people to go to therapy and go do all this stuff, but we're not thinking about how sometimes those people just really need a hug. They actually need, and it's actually harms them more to go and sit across from somebody that they're not going to be able to have a physical touch with legally. They're not able to there was some other point, but basically like the whole thread was just a bunch of points about how therapy was actually hurting this one guy. And it was because really he just needed a physical connection. He just needed somebody from his family or somebody to talk to him. And it was just really sad. But